Good morning. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. My name is Dean Jones. I'm here today to show you a beautiful new coach we just got in. It's a 2023 Newmar Ventana 4369, which that floor plan is probably the best seller in the Newmar line. More so in the Dutch Star line, which is the big brother to this guy. But as these models mature, this one's probably almost all of what a Dutch Star was 3 or 4 years ago. So it's a great value, great floor plan, great coach, beautiful color. We've got a little bit of haze today, as you can see. I think it's from the fires up north, but which is kind of a downer because this is a custom color on this coach. We've actually ordered this custom. It's a one-off, very beautiful color. It's kind of a Gotham exterior that's been changed a little bit. I don't know if you can see. There's a nice kind of dark green gray on these bottom colors. We do have pictures getting ready to hit the website that were in the sun. They should be there in the next day or two. Definitely look at that. There'll be a link to that website in our description here. Definitely don't miss the color on this guy. It's beautiful. It's a little bit hard to see today, but we're just gonna go ahead and get started. The stock number on this coach is 5N221606. Again, it's a 2023 Ventana. It's a 4369 on the Freightliner XC chassis. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started on this side. I'll point out it does have turn cameras. So this would be a blind spot camera on your right side. When you put your right blinker on, it would just show up on your screen in there. We do have nice chrome bus mirrors. Moving back here, we do have, Newmar gives you a nice good grab handle. We do have a code so you can actually program it to open the door, or you can program it to open the door and the cargo bays. So really nice. You also have a doorbell. Some people think that's a little weird, but when you're in a Newmar, it's so well insulated, you wouldn't know if someone was knocking on this door. So the doorbell is actually a necessity, believe it or not. Moving around, all Newmars come with Michelins. This is a 315 tire, Michelin's all the way around. Nice Alcoa wheel. These are going to be permanently shiny. You just got to kind of wipe them off once in a while. That'll hold that shine for a long, long time. As we come through, we've got your diesel fill. You got diesel fill on both sides. This will hold 100 gallons of fuel, so keep that in mind. We do have a marker light. Look, panning up, you'll see these. We did opt this one with the 3 different window awnings. They are manual. You just got to take a little grab bar, pull it down, hook it onto here, but really nice shade in the summer when you got that sun coming in your windows. And we'll start off here on this bay. Nice little storage. We have, if you get a shot at this, we got a 12 and a 110 here. And what you would do with that is, we can do it at Transwest here, but there's a Dometic freezer. It's a refrigerator freezer that if you wanted to opt, it's on a tray. Real nice option. To kind of keep the cost down on these, we just kind of let the options up to the buyer. So we didn't put that in from the factory, but we can definitely do that here at Transwest. Come to the next bay. You have a nice pass-through manual tray. Comes all the way out both sides. Really easy to load your stuff. We do have some extra tiles in the event you drop a skillet or something and crack a tile. You shouldn't crack a tile going down the road, and we can go into that in the next bay. The way this thing's built, you're not gonna crack a tile probably going down the road, but if you do drop something loading or unloading, you have the exact tile to replace it with. These are slide protectors. You can just put them underneath your wheels and it kind of keeps that tile floor nice and clean. But it locks in right there. I'll get a shot of the actual structure on the next one, but before we get too far down, we do have a 43-inch Samsung high-def TV with the Bose soundbar. You operate that soundbar right here. You can actually go from the TV or the dash radio. We've also got a 110 here, and you've got a couple USBs if you want to charge something out here. Also, this TV can be popped up, and if you have a glare or whatever, depending on where you're sitting out here underneath these awnings. Speaking of the awnings, let's take a shot of those guys. These are the Girard Nova awnings. They're an upgraded option that we've opted this one with. As you see, it's kind of got an out and a pitch down. That's going to provide more shade for longer. And if you get a look at these bad boys, that's like 38 foot of awning. They're roof mounted. You don't have the bars coming down the side. Just a beautiful set of awnings. I'll show you how you operate those on the inside. There's a remote. There's also a little panel above the steering wheel. So I'll show you how that works in a minute, but we'll just keep moving down the coach. We love those awnings. Oh, I already opened that one. So many compartments, I get lost. So if you get a shot under here, we did not for a train here, and some people like that because you get a little bit more clearance underneath those rails. The Freightliner chassis, it's a raised rail chassis. But all that metal you see around there coming down those gussets, that's called a star foundation. That's a strong, true, and robust superstructure that it's kind of where these chassis start. They come in the factory and these guys come in and just weld this beautiful big structure on it. It supports the weight of these great hung walls, which we'll talk about in a minute. But just great support. You've also got cog slides. We talked about this last time if you saw me. But what these cog slides do, and this is 3 full cogs, it's a 3-slide coach, full wall slide on that side, 2 slides on this side, and they're flush fitting slides as you can see. They actually sit right in the wall. They don't have an overlapping piece of plastic that you're gonna get debris or wind or any of that catching when you're going down the road. But another thing I like about the flush wall slides is it kind of keeps Newmar honest. If you look at this, the reveal is pretty much dead on all the way around there, and you can see that they just really precisely build and install their slides. You can't really cheat that. When you can see the reveal, you can't cheat it. Another way, Newmar just has everyone else in the market beat. However, how they run, you can't really see it because you've got this little cover here, but I showed it last time. There's a big giant cast iron cog that on a shaft here that rolls out, and 1 revolution's a foot. So if you have a 2-foot slide, that wheel's only turning twice. So it's a real solid system. Maybe next time I'll bring another one out and show you, but I showed you all in my last video. But that's a cog slide system. Notice that everything's lit real nice with LED in here, and they're on the back sides here, so they're not blinding you when you're actually loading and unloading at night. But just little things that Newmar does. Oh, one more thing while we're down here. They actually insulate the floor on these guys. I don't know if you can catch that, but it's about a 2-inch floor, 2.5-inch floor, all insulated. That's gonna keep your tanks from freezing in colder temperatures. It's also gonna deaden sound as you're going down the road. No one does it better than Newmar on that. Here we have kind of a 3/4 tray. Behind this tray, you're gonna have your boiler for your heat and your water. So we can't go all the way pass through on this guy, but we do have a nice tray. This is the little thing you grab your awnings with. Here's some vacuum parts. Speaking of vacuum, you got a central vac in this guy. You can actually use it in here to clean out your basement, or you can use it up there. These attachments will go end to end in the new coach. We do have some splitters here for your TVs inside. This is your slide controller. We do have some awning controllers here, a little bit more power for some of that stuff, and a nice GFCI right here for you if you need to plug something in. And there's some things that we can move from the inside out to plug in out here. I'll show you when we get inside. We do have another marker light here, and above that marker light you'll see a camera. This camera is part of the 360 camera. We do have kind of a drone looking bird's eye view of this coach as you're going down the road, or if you're in tight parking lots or gas stations. This actually stitches the 4 cameras together and gives you kind of an overview that we'll show you on the dash. Very nice system, that's a great option. It makes these big 43-foot coaches a lot smaller when you can see all the way around them in one look. This here is in front of the water tank. So instead of just closing this door and sealing it off this panel, they gave you this 6 inches with some pegboard. You can hang tools, put oil, certain shallow fluids in here. Some people have some shelves in here, but yeah, it's a nice little addition. They're trying to give you all the storage they can. And trust me, you give an RV or storage, they're gonna use it. This is a tag axle. Just as far as the length on this guy, it's 43 foot 10 inches. This is your drive axle. This actually powers the motor drives this. This is a steering tag, sorry. This actually turns 17 degrees, as when you're under a certain mile an hour, like 15 mile an hour in a parking lot, it actually gives you a better turning radius. It also keeps these tires from kind of being locked in and scrubbing the tread off as you're going, you know, in tight quarters. So it's a very, very nice, comfortable steering coach. And it's also a 10,000 pound axle. What that does is that gives you a little bit more payload. It also gives you more towing. So as we get to the back, I'll talk about that in a minute. But right here, we do have an egress door. It only opens from the inside. I will demonstrate that on the inside. But again, a really nice Newmar only feature. As we get back here, we see the chassis batteries. So this is gonna actually these are just the cold cranking batteries that start your 8-9 Cummins that's in here. Here, this would be a nice little shut off if you were to ever just want to store the coach. Didn't want any slow drain or small drains on this guy. You just turn that off. That's a good storage mode. You can kind of get a shot of this. This is your glycol for your Oasis system that we'll talk about in a minute. Come around here, you got a one-piece fiberglass cap. You'll notice this is an XCR 400 horse, 1,250 foot-pound of torque, pound-foot, I guess, torque, which is a lot like the Dutch Star, its big brother. Same torque, a little more horsepower, but the same motor. So a couple differences is, this is a rear radiated coach. The Dutch Star has a side radiator. But as you get a shot down here, you'll see this is a true 15,000 pound hitch. So when we get into hitch sizes and what a coach can pull, sometimes they don't match. But on a Newmar, you will get true 15,000 pounds on this coach, no matter what you have in the coach or how you have it loaded. So keep that in mind. We do have a 7-way here. We also have the airline here. And what that does is it's a quick connect. When we get into towing vehicles in these diesel pushers, there's kind of two parts to the braking system. You got to kind of, in the older days, we'd have to put a big air tank and an airline out here, and then fix your tow vehicle with an airline brake system like an Air Force One. So that was two different parts to the puzzle. The coach side's already been done for you on this one. So the air tank, all the hookups, it's all there. You just got to get your tow set up, and you're going down the road with your vehicle. Here, we'll just open this back batch. Pretty simple. You do see the radiator, something you might want to wash off from time to time, but it's pretty easy. We got access to your coolant. You can see when your coolant is low. You can fill it here. Don't do that when it's hot, please. We do have identification on this guy. Transmission, dipsticks, oil fill. We've got, this is a good diagnostic port. This is how our techs know what's going on with your coach. Then you have a nice little air filter gauge here. When this yellow touches the red, you know you got to get in there and change that. And if you get a shot over here, see this big pipe here? I don't know if you could see this. This is how that air filter breathes. It goes up to this nice vent up here. And that's kind of what feeds your motor the air right there, and it's all filtered. So kind of a nice system there. You'll notice there's two cameras on the back of this guy. You get the 360, and then you've got your backup camera. And we'll show you what that looks like inside. Coming around, everything is LED on the back here, so real bright, real safe. Since it's not a side radiated coach, Newmar's taking it upon themselves to give you a little bit more storage. This is kind of a pass-through storage, so it's lit. You can actually put longer items, a couple lawn chairs, what have you down there. You do have power back here, and again, it's lit. All carpeted, real nice. We do have our DEF right here. This is your diesel emission fluid, kind of cleans all that black smoke out of the diesel exhaust before it goes in the atmosphere. It is a 10-gallon tank. You do have a little gauge right there, so you could always see, and you could also check it on the dash as well. But this is where you'd fill that. I think you go through like a gallon of this for every 50 gallons of fuel, so you're not filling this up every time. One thing to note about DEF is it does have a shelf life. So as people store DEF and stuff in here, it's only good for about a year, so keep that in mind as you're running your coach. We do have a little kind of separate little storage here. Great thing for a sewer hose, gloves, anything that you don't want next to your other stuff. That's kind of what this is for. Real easy to get to. One thing I'll point out too is before I get to the wet bay, we do have a vented dryer in here, and I'll show you that inside, but it is vented, which that dryer is going to work a lot better, but I just want to point that out. We also have the other two window awnings up here, as you can see. All slides are equipped. You see that big black tube going across? That's a slide topper. That's going to keep pine cones, weather, whatever, out of the top of your slides, so when they come in, they don't get misaligned. So coming to the wet bay, I believe for 23, this might have been 22 or 23, they went with the stainless steel front, a lot easier to keep clean, real easy to kind of see what's going on with these labels. We kind of point out what's going on. We've got a little, this is a winterization kind of tube for you just put it in your antifreeze, hit your water pump, get that antifreeze in if you want to winterize it yourself. We do have hot and cold low point drains if you ever need to just dump the water in any kind of fashion. We have an outdoor shower, hot and cold, the little wand. These are your dump tanks. You would just run a hose through here, hook up to your gate valve. Here you got black and gray. Not only are they labeled, they're also colored as such. Those are inside. These do a lot better when they're inside. If they're out here, they get kind of a little clogged up with road grime and dirt and stuff, and they get cold, and some of these they get brittle. I like seeing these inside. We do have, this is how you would fill your tank. You can manually fill it by hooking this up to a water source, and this is on a reel, and it actually powers back and forth. You can actually, you don't have to worry about, your hose in the way. It's always in there in a nice place. You can also put it on autofill. When you're actually hooked up to city water, you can program this thing to kind of fill up, top off over time. So when you're ready to go, it's full. So that's a good feature too. This would be a sewage rinse. When this is open, only when this is open, you put a hose here and you'd wash out your tanks as you're dumping. And what you see here, this is a 6,000 gallon water filtration system. We do have water filtration in the fridge too, so it's kind of double filter, which is nice. But this also keeps your whole water system from calcifying. So it's good for drinking water, but it's also great for the health of the coach. So that's the wet bay, and it is lit. You got a nice little LED strip right here. And what you see here, this is part of the cog slide system. It's a big shaft going down the middle of this whole big wall slide. Right here we have our 50 amp, 50 foot shore power cord. This just pulls out, and when you're done, you hit a button here and it pulls it right back in. Really nice way to go. If you haven't had one of these, you'll never live. You won't know how you lived without it. We do have lights in this bay. This is a transfer power switch, and we also have. This would be where you put park cable in. If you were at a park and they had local cable or something, you could put it in here and it would go to your TVs. Right here we have our Chinook Oasis. This is how you heat your coach and you heat your water. So you got 2 electric burners on it, and you also have a diesel burner, and you also have a loop from the motor. So the heat from the motor can come in here and warm your coach as well. Really, really neat system. Here's the back side of that middle compartment. This is the one without the tray. And then this is the other side of that one tray that we do have. And of course it comes out this side as well. Real neat little deal how you go either side on that. Right here we do have our battery bank, and it is on a slide tray. You have 8 6-volt batteries in there, which tells me that it is a electric only coach. There's no propane on this coach. And what that means is that everything's electric in there. You've got a induction cooktop, a residential fridge, everything's on an inverter. We do have the other side where you would put your fuel in there. Then of course we have, these are some of the fuses for the chassis. So if you ever had like a seat not working or something to do with the chassis just a little bit faulty, chances are it's one of these fuses. You have some extra spare fuses right here, which are real nice. And you also have, this is like your hood latch, if you will. And I'll show you what's going on there. Right here, we do have the exhaust for the 8K generator. So this is your own in 8K. I believe it's 8K, yeah. Yep. Powers the whole coach. It's a really, really nice generator, real quiet. I'll start it when we get inside. We do have our hydraulic motor and our reservoir for our equalizer, stabilizer system, HWH. We do have some air horns in here. We started taking them off the roof a few years back. Not the most aerodynamic things, but you still can hear them, no problem going down the road. This one's been opted with a hot water source up here if you wanted to clean bugs off your windshield with it. This filter here actually cleans the fuel for the Oasis system. So it's a fuel oil filter for the Oasis. It's not for the generator. We also have, oh there it is, it's kind of hidden. Thought it was there. This is a little air chuck. If you needed to fill up the front tires, this comes off your air system. Pretty nice. And if you ever needed to get to this this guy here, there's like 8 bolts. You just take this whole thing, rolls out, but it's not one of the ones that come out on a hydraulic slide. Pretty simple coach. Kind of what keeps the cost down on these things. So, a couple other things about, this is a automotive bonded windshield. You don't see this big seal around it. We like how they do that. Also something to note, some of the beefiest windshield wiper arms that they in the business Newmar uses, these aren't going to chatter going across your windshield. Very nice system there. And of course, if you look up there, you can see the other part of the 360 camera that we'll show you in here. So that's kind of the outside of this guy. We can go inside, check it out. You have mechanical steps that come out from Lippert. And as you come in, you'll see that there is a little bit of storage as you walk in. This one's super deep. This one's kind of just the depth of the stair. Great place for shoes, dog leashes, anything like that. As I come in, one of the neat features about this is this is a KIB multiplex here, and if you want to just kind of light the whole coach up at once, you can push these 2 top buttons at once, and the whole coach lights up on the ceiling from the way back. So you're not sitting there typing, or punching in all kinds of different buttons. You just hit those and you got some light. So one thing I wanted to show before I open this coach is we've got plenty of room here. This has got the posing sofas. This is a bed, this is a jackknife. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. But notice the aisle here. It's really nice. You're probably your tightest points right here by this Euro booth, but you can still get to this bathroom. You got a traveling bath here. You can also get to your refrigerator here, either side, and you can actually get to your pantry if you want to get some snacks there. So I just kind of like to demonstrate that. And we will open this guy up and show you the inside. It's a beautiful coach. I'm going to start that generator. Again, you can probably not even hear it on my mics, but what's nice about these slides too is you can actually open them up at the same time. The big brother to this coach is going to have a big hydraulic slide on the side, but these are all cogs, real smooth. Opens up a lot. There we go. I'm going to shut this door behind you. So I'll go back and open up this. I opened that earlier so we could demonstrate it. We'll probably start up at the dash and work our way back. There's so much to show you in here. So this interior is a Gotham interior package, and it has, I believe it's the Newport glazed maple high gloss. Yep. Beautiful cabinetry, beautiful colors in this coach. I'll just kind of start up here. We'll start at the dash here. Really simple dash here. They actually moved the gearbox over to this. Freightliner did. If you get a Spartan, which is another option, you can get this old Allison gearbox here. But they've actually put it right here on this stock right here. Kind of cleans up this whole area. You get a couple of cup holders. This is your leveling system right here. It's one touch. You just turn it on, auto level or auto retract, and you're pretty much ready to go. We do have a tag dump system. You can actually turn your air horns on and off, but why would you do that? We like our air horns. So anyways, tag dump, if you can put it on auto and it'll kind of sense when it needs to release pressure. That's kind of how I would run it. But if you ever needed to disable it or dump it, you could definitely do it right there. Coming over here, pretty simple, like what you drive every day. You got a little headlight system. You've got your mirrors left and right. These are heated. You can hit that and heat it. That's not an eject button. Dome lights if you'd like. Now this is a little house chassis jumper. If you were to have left your lights on and it kind of drained those cranking batteries, you could just hit that chassis and all those 8 batteries would help start your coach. In fact, I'll do that now. I'm not gonna need to jump it, but what you see in here, we have a nice little pedal. I don't know what's the best shot there, but you do have a nice digital display here. You can actually kind of configure these guys here if you wanted a different, gauges or whatever. This is kind of customizable. We kind of like it this way. You see you do have lane assist on this guy with that mobile eye. One of the great features about this new setup is if I ever wanted to get into my comfort steer, comfort drive, I'm sorry. Comfort drive is a Newmar only kind of proprietary system. They've had it for years and years and years, and it's just a great system where if you were ever to be in like a side wind and you're feeling yourself fighting it, you can get in here and dial that sensitivity up or down depending on your driving conditions, the crowns in the road, that sort of thing. Takes the driving fatigue out of driving one of these things. And I often say almost the bigger they are, the easier they are to drive. These diesel pushers are definitely, they fit that mold. You don't hear the motor up here from back there. You've got comfort steer. Another thing this does is as you're turning hard left, if you let go of the steering wheel, it's going to always get those wheels back to straight. And that kind of means you're steering half the time, but at the same time, the best part about that for us around here, especially when we're parking these guys, is if someone tells you to go straight back, you let go of the steering wheel and your wheels are going to be straight back. A lot of times we're like, are my wheels straight? We can't tell, but Newmar's taken that out of the equation. So great thing there. You do have your diesel emission fluid gauge here. Your fuel, looks like we need to get some fuel for this guy. But you could also go back home. You do have all these different ways you can set this guy up. You got diagnostics, but we do have a favorite. So a lot of times it was kind of hard because there used to be a little dial here for the comfort drive, which was real handy. And then you used to have to kind of hunt for that as you're going down the road, and it was a little bit nerving. So they just put a kind of a home button for that guy. So that's great there. We do have our phone buttons here and our cruise control there. Right here we do have a camera. It's the Voyager system, and as you can see, there's a little echo going through behind us. But over here too, we can actually get our 360 on here, which is really nice. So before, I think in 23 they left this, so this will always be on, because if you were to put it in reverse last year, it would disable this. So now it's on all the time. You see our awnings are out, so it's a little distorted, but you can kind of see that view, and you could actually, dial some of those in. And you also down here, if you're having a hard time you don't want to mess with this too bad, you can come over here with this last button and change your views real easy. So that's a really cool feature, front, back, that sort of thing. On here we do have our visor and our shade. This is our kind of sun visor right there, as you see coming down. We also have a blackout shade. This would be a privacy shade. And you know, when you're parked, you can bring all these shades down. That's what that's all about. We also have overhead fans. If you need a little bit of air up here, you just kick those on. Get some nice little air going. Medium, high, low. We got generator start. We've got our front fans. We can actually put those fans on different levels here. So here's our HVAC system. So we actually got the AC on right now. Just turn that off. But just like what you'd see in your car every day. Here's your entry lock, and again, there's those cameras. We do have a little bit of storage here and here. We do have a little phone charger here too. I don't have my phone with me. I don't keep my phone in the videos in case it rings. But at any rate, yeah, you can put your phone there, it'll charge for you. And you also have a nice little foot pedal here to get that steering wheel in that perfect position. So very nice there. That's kind of the cockpit area. We've got a lot of our controls are right here. This is our little awning on the outside, and people often ask, what's that little awning doing out there? This is a front entry coach. We got those awnings out, and say it was raining and you needed to get something out of your storage. You'd have to go out there in the rain before you got under your awnings, before you got into your basement. So they put a nice little awning out here to kind of connect, kind of give you coverage to get underneath the other ones. Kind of a nice feature there. These are your awnings we were talking about. This is one way to open them. Zero, if you hit zero, this is the zero channel. This kind of represents both awnings. So you can I'll actually put them in now. So that's actually going to shut or open both those big giant awnings. If you wanted to do one or the other, that would be the front, that would be the back. You also have a really nice LED light bar going across there that wasn't on. We also have our security lights. There's security lights all around the coach. This is your power control monitor system. It kind of tells you how much voltage you're working with and how much each individual appliance or source is using at the time. Kind of important when you're looking at boondocking or you're not going to be plugged in. Kind of know when you need to run your generator, that kind of thing. This is the Oasis system. This is going to be this is going to heat the water and heat your coach. You've got your diesel burner. I can kick that on. It's going to burn diesel fuel, and that's probably the most efficient way of getting heat in here quick if you get in those cold snaps. On kind of somewhat chilly days, you can use one or two or both. You have two electric burners. You can use one or both of them. So that's what that's about. We do have our slide controllers, in and out, pretty self-explanatory. And this is our inverter. Where you would use this is to kind of program the AGS, but there's a better way to do that. We're going to go into that in a little bit. But then we also have a satellite up here. So this would kind of go up and find channels for you. So as we come over here, got a little storage. Great for any kind of traveling stuff you might need. You can opt for a TV in these guys. We just opted not to have one in this guy because we do have the televator behind us. But more storage up here. We do have a nice little screen door. I didn't show this on the way in, but you can definitely close this. And it actually has a little knob where you can open and close it from inside or out. What's nice about this guy here is the screen is on it's kind of on a blind mechanism. And what that's nice about is if you're driving or your passenger's looking out going down the road, you're not impeded by a screen here. So we like that. Coming over here, you'll see that the passenger does have a little desk feature here. You just pop this over and they can, have a snack, maybe work on a laptop, kind of go through there. We do have a charger for them as well, a 12 volt, little 110 with USBs. Over here we do have a fire extinguisher, which is nice. Hopefully you'll never need to use it. We do have a battery disconnect that'll shut the whole coach out. If you're going to go hiking and you don't have any reason to have any power going on in here, hit that one touch, everything goes off. We also have a nice little, these are for your cargo locks. So when you put the coach in gear, it locks this door, it locks all your cargo doors. So keep in mind when you're walking out to get something out, just make sure you hit that unlock because chances are they're going to be locked and you're going to have to come back in. So nice little convenient button there. You do have grab handles coming into the coach. They're really good about that. You've also got, in the Ventana, your MCD shades, day and night. They're going to be manual. Your Death Star, I think they get into the power ones. Well, I know they do, but nice window here for your passenger to kind of check out. Now, this is going to be your, again, we talked about those, you know, if you want to hit those two buttons, you can also turn them off all at once with the bottom two buttons. But they also independently hit bedroom, accent, high-low, and this is your floor heat. So we opted this Ventana with floor heat, which is a beautiful option. We got it on right now. It's real nice and comfortable in here. It's about a 50-degree day out, and it's just nice and cozy in here. But it's a 3-zone electric heat. Kind of keeps these tiles nice and warm. Even when you have your ACs on, it's not bad to have these on low. Keep those nice and warm for when you're walking in the mornings. We like to see that. One quick thing to point out, we got all this nice fascia in this coach. Again, it's a Newport glazed maple high gloss finish. But if you ever needed to clean your mirrors, this one actually could probably use it. You just pop these out. They're on magnets, kind of neat. Another new feature for the 23 is they actually added a nice piece of crown all the way around the coach here, as you can see. Really, really nice. Soft ceiling, LED lights. We've also got our, this is a 43 footer, so you have 3 air conditioner, 15,000 BTU air conditioners with heat pumps. And I believe they just pop down right, one of these sides. They pop down, you can actually clean your, which side is it? I don't want to break anything, but they just pop down. They're on a hinge. You've got your filters you can clean out. It's an induction and your vents coming out here. And it's all in the center of the coach. And the reason for that is, you saw when this thing was closed. When this thing's closed, you have a lot of, you know, surface area over your slides that kind of impede airflow. So instead of having those little plastic discs everywhere where you're actually cooling the top of your slide boxes, they've got it in a nice row right here. So very nice there. Kind of demonstrate these couches real quick. We do have a sleeper on this side and a jackknife over there. So to kind of show you how that works, because this is kind of neat how they did this to kind of keep both of them functional. This bed's kind of sideways. So as we you'll notice there's 3 seat belts on this guy, on this one. Kind of get these out of the way. Just kind of pulled them out so you'd see that they're there. You do have a release right here. Oops. Just pops out. You grab your leg here. And what you see is a queen bed, but it's not coming this way like your conventional like home sleeper would be. It goes this way, and what that does is that allows this bed to work too, and I'll show you that in just a second. Just kind of push that down and you're put away there. So really nice little sleeper there. This comes, you can get this Ventana with theater seats, recliners. In fact, we have Transwest right now is sitting on about 27 between our 4 stores, 7 4369s, and we do have them with recliners and with theater seats, and then the couch configuration you're seeing now. So we do have plenty of options. And that couch is put back away and you're ready to sit on it. And while you're here, there's an option for these. We didn't opt it on this guy, but you can get nice little ottomans for this guy. You can order them from Newmar, or you can order your coach with them. They have little storage in them. Kind of make little tables, kind of nice to kick your feet up. Something we can even add to this guy if we wanted. Notice I got the televator coming up, but before it comes all the way up, you got this really nice, beautiful window. You kind of see what's going on in your campsite. When you want to move your TV, watch your TV, you can pop it up there. It has a 50-inch 4K smart Samsung, I believe. And while that's coming up, I'll show you this guy here. This is more of a jackknife or a kind of a futon style bed. You do have a little release here. You just pop that down. Not for the longest sleeper, but if you had a little guy, they could make a bed out of this as well. And again, both these work at the same time when the slides are out. So that's that. Start looking at some of the storage solutions in here. Really nice new hardware on this 23. Again, all hardwood here. We've got all hardwood styles. All your fascia, all your wood's going to be solid wood, maple. We do have carpeted. All these areas are carpeted, so it's going to be a little bit quieter. Things aren't going to move around as much. People often ask, "What's this?" This is just part of your. This is a complete slide right here. This is insulation. So, talking about Newmar's, we're the best insulated coach I know of. You've got insulation in the roof, insulation in the floor. You've got some of the best. These aren't laminated like RV walls. These are actually built like your house. They have a 16 on center stud all the way around here with batten insulation. No voids except for the windows. The windows are actually framed in. They're not just kind of pressed into a laminated wall. So you get into the Newmar construction, it's pretty incredible how they engineer these guys. But that being said, this is just as much insulation on this box here as you'd see up here. So real quiet. Again, you wouldn't even know if someone's knocking on the door. That's why we put a doorbell there. But that's one cabinet. This is your AV cabinet. It's got smoked glass, so if you do have a receiver or anything with a remote control, it'll read through this glass here. This is already pre-wired to your TV if you wanted to hook up a gaming system, a DVD player, something to that effect. You do have a sound bar up here. It is a Bose. Again, we do have more storage there. Then we have another storage here with an adjustable shelf. We'll just get right into the kitchen here. Nice little spice rack here. Notice there's this nice little hardware right here. Not only does it keep it open when you're loading it, it also kind of keeps it shut when you're going down the road. It kind of pulls it tight so you're not rattling. These things don't rattle going down the road. So nice thing there. We do have a 30-inch Whirlpool residential convection microwave. Nice big cube in there so you can actually do some cooking in there. More storage here. And for people who have a hard time reaching back there, they bring this out for you. So real nice that they do that. And this shelf is adjustable. Again, you can see how that insulation is just all the way around this box. Real nice. We do have a little bit more storage there. That's kind of a fixed shelf, but coming over here, we do have a nice little drawer here, a little stuff, and a nice little pull here for any kind of scrubbies or what you might need there. You do have a stainless steel undermounted two-sided sink, nice residential faucet with a sprayer, real quality piece there. And then down here, you'll see you do have a nice little trash can spot, and you also have these covers that kind of cover up this sink nicely for some extra counter space here. Another way this was opted with a kitchen window. Oh, I think I have these backwards. This is an option right here. You do have a nice glass backsplash, but you have a nice window there, so you can kind of keep an eye on your campsite as you're cooking. So the 4369 does have a counter extender with drawers that are wide and deep, and they're soft close. And again, that actually keeps that sucked in as you're going down the road so they're not rattling. Let's give that a bump. We have a nice silverware drawer here. Some remotes. Keep in mind, one remote will power all these TVs, but you can also keep separate remotes for separate TVs as well. If more than if other people are watching two different TVs. So, and we do have the nice dishwasher, so we opted with that. Not only is that a nice dishwasher, but if you weren't going to use that a whole lot and you had a big pan or something, you can actually store it in there. Kind of nice. So coming over to this side, we got more storage. These are pass-through, so these are, so you can put some real long stuff in here. Again, nice hardware. Again, keeps them nice and tight. And we've got a lot of cool little lighting on this, little accent lighting. So if you wanted to light this up and read, you have wall sconces, that sort of thing. Keep in mind, again, we do have windows that do open, so if you wanted to get a nice little cross breeze here and not use any kind of HVAC, very easy to do so. And they're louvered down, so if you were in some elements and you wanted some air, you could still get it without getting your inside of your coach wet. But again, night shade, day shade, real easy, up and down. Nice little balances. This is one of my favorite options on these coaches. You can get a couple different configurations on the actual dinette side. You can get tables and chairs, kind of a desk dinette. This is the actual Euro booth. And what it does, it comes all the way out. You can pop this board here, and it makes a nice little stand there. We've got 2 leaves under the bed that I'll show you. Kind of makes a 6 top. And there's also 2 chairs that are upholstered in the same leather that I'll show you. Just really nice. You can actually kind of move those chairs around. Really nice system. And you do have storage underneath these guys. Great place for games, that kind of thing, on both sides. A little tight because it's a brand new coach, but notice that this slide does have carpet in it. It's the Big Brother does have tile floor, and it's a hydraulic slide that sits down. But again, not a whole lot of carpet. It's just for this slide. Kind of allows it to you can actually kind of open both at the same time because it's kind of the same system. Whereas with the Dutch Star, you kind of want to open one and then open the other. That's the kitchen and the dinette. We'll come back here. One of the coolest features about the new 23 Ventana is this KIB multiplex kind of screen here. It's a 10-inch screen. We go to home. Real easy source to find out what your battery levels are. We're doing really good there at over 14 volts. You do have a water pump. You can top off the water, or you can auto fill it there. We talked about that at the wet bay. You do have a kind of a quick source for lighting, and you can come over here and actually get a little bit more specific with kitchen, bath, bedroom, all that stuff. This is another nice feature. Actually, let's click these on. I thought they were on earlier, but this is how we'd get our floor heat on. Front, middle, and back, 3 zones. You can go high. Again, on nice cool days, these are nice to have on low because it kind of keeps those tiles nice and comfortable to walk on barefoot. You do have 3-zone HVAC. You can. This is the inside temp, and we can actually kick that Oasis on and run that. We can go. It's off now, but we can go to the. It's not working right now, but you can actually go from heat pumps to Oasis to whatever you want to use there. Oh, there we go. There we go. So there's heat pumps. There's just a fan. There's the off, and there's cool if you wanted your ACs going, and you have 3 different zones there. Now, what's really nice about this, when you go to Connected Solutions on the Google Play or Apple App Store, you can download this app, and you can actually pair this with your phone and have all these functions on your phone. You can run it from anywhere from 100 feet around the coach. So if you're out there cooking and you want it to be a little cooler in here when you come in, just get on your phone, kick the stuff on, and you're good to go. So it's a really nice little system, super easy to use. Took me about 5 minutes to figure it out the first time. Oh, real quick, this is the HVAC system. I mean the central vac system. Nice little dustpan there if you want to sweep up dog hair or whatever. You can just sweep it right up there, kick that open, and it'll suck it down in that little box underneath. And those attachments would go right here. So you just put your attachments in. Those attachments, again, they run from the front of the coach all the way to the back. They're long enough to take care of all that. So before we hit the mid-bath, we'll show you the nice Whirlpool residential refrigerator. You do have a filter in here. This is that double filter. You just plug that in and you can get even cleaner water. But just like what you'd see at home, you got water in the door and a nice chest freezer with an ice maker right here. So and you can lock this. So locking this course, we don't want to see our groceries out on the floor. So as you're going down the road, keep that locked and you won't have any problems. And one of the best things about the 4369 that we get feedback for is our pantry in this guy. Very nice pantry, and they're kind of a drawer shelf. So you can put all your goods in here, kind of keeps them contained. It also locks them in there. And you've got 6 of them. Those can be adjusted up and down. But again, really nice, big, wide, deep pantry. So we'll just kind of get a shot of the mid bath. Keep in mind when you're driving down the road. Oh, the light's on. Okay, get the light on in here. So as you can see in there, vessel sink, which gives you a little bit more counter space. Nice big medicine cabinet. I'll go in and open some of that real quick. The cool thing about this bathroom is it's got the mid hinge. It's going to open when the slides are closed. When this bed's closed, when all the slides are closed, it's kind of hard to get to that beautiful back bathroom. So we do have this little traveling bath here. But I don't know if you can get a shot in here. These would be your 110 fuses. Any of your 110 systems don't work, chances are you're going to have a break or you just need to reset. These are GFCIs, and they're also connected to your floor heat. So if your floor heat's not working, chances are you just need to reset one of these guys, floor heat 1 and 2. You do have a nice little legend here on what these fuses, right? There's a fuse block here, and it tells you what they're for here. So you can also troubleshoot if you had any fuses going out. Up here you do have a fantastic fan. And you actually do have one of those little air discs in here, but that's keeping this thing air conditioned in here if you need it. We do have the controls for the fantastic fan on the wall here. And you got a little storage in here, and a nice big, I don't know, you can't really see that, but nice big medicine cabinet, and you have some storage down here. And access to your plumbing if you needed to do something there. One thing about that Oasis heat, I'll say, that's really neat, is it's a register heat. It kind of goes in a loop with that glycol. Kind of keeps everything nice and warm. Let's see here. And those registers are kind of hidden in plain sight. You got one right here. You've got one right over here on this side. As you see, there's one over by the bathroom. Just kind of pumps heat out here. Nothing real crazy, nothing you're going to have to vacuum out of the floor. That Oasis system is just awesome. But going back into the bedroom, you'll notice these are kind of a new design for this year, but really nice pocket doors. They lock close and they lock open. Keep in mind you want to hear that click before you go down the road because you don't want these flying back and forth as you're taking turns. So keep that in mind. Coming back here, we do have a little bit more lighting multiplexes, a little bit more floor heat options here. This would be your bed slide option here. You're just in and out. We do have nice wardrobes on both sides of this TV. This is becoming more and more popular. I see this on almost all the models now. We've got closets for 2 on each side. I'm going to turn off that generator real quick. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry. That shouldn't be on. Okay. So as we get back here, getting closer to the engine, so we turn that off. Not that it's loud, but it's just easier to hear me. We get back into the bedroom. We do have a nice king bed. This is the storage underneath, and as I told you I'd show you. These are actually upholstered just like the actual chairs and stuff up there. So real comfortable, nice folding chairs. And of course you do have your leaves for your table. They're on shocks, real easy to get to, a little extra storage down there. This is a standard pillow top mattress. Comfortable. And as you come around here, you'll see there is a little storage on your nightstands, and you've got 110 and USBs to charge your items. We have some speakers in the ceiling, as you can see. If you want to turn those on, get one or both. You can turn them on if you're having music playing from the dash. We do have windows on both sides of the slide. Those do open for cross breeze. And then we do have all the storage up here. And what's nice about this storage, again, nice and carpeted. You'll see that little outlet back there. I don't know if you can get a shot of that, but with that, you also have these little ports down. Let me go back to this one. These little pucks right here, you can drop. If you have a CPAP machine, you can put it up there, plug it in, it's out of the way, and you can just drop your hoses down. Very thoughtful, very nice way to go. And if we get up under here, we've got a couple of features. This little button here would turn on your campsite security light. So if you heard of something stirring out there and you wanted to kind of scare them off, you hit that, chances are they're gone, hopefully. And then you've also have some lighting right here and for the whole coach. And you can also turn, say, all off. Oops, let's go back. Turn them back on. And then you can also turn the little blue night light off on there. And you also have reading lights on both sides. I think I neglected to show you the underside of this guy because I turned off the motor. You have 5 real nice deep dresser drawers, again on soft close. And this guy here would be a little pull down. This is kind of like the front AV cabinet, smoke glass, so remotes can work through it. But this would all power to this TV right here. This is kind of an egress window. It is an exit window. It can be pushed out and it could be exited. There's a better option in the bathroom if you can make it. We'll show you that in a minute. But there's outlets under here. There's an outlet right under there if you needed to hook up a radio and an alarm clock or something to that degree. Coming back here, we'll go to the bathroom. One of the best features of a 4369, in my opinion. It does have that Splendid washer and dryer. And that's that vented dryer, so it's actually going to dry a lot like a kind of an apartment stackable. A lot better than the old combos that you heard nightmares about. But you do have a little step up, keep that in mind, but they do supply you with a double sink vanity with an absolute monster medicine cabinet. Get a shot of that. Got some more storage under here, access to your plumbing. Yep, 3 nice drawers here. And again, another one of those little registers that you don't really notice is there until you get pointed out. Undermounted deeper sinks like that. This little towel rack. And then you have this really nice closet. And this closet's a little more that meets the eye here. You've got some deeper storage on the left side. You've got hanging all the way throughout. So if you're you got more stuff hanging than shelvable in your wardrobe, you can take these drawers out or these shelves out and make it one big giant long hanging closet, or you can make these shoe boxes or what have you. We did opt this with the safe for securing your items, and we do have lights in here that keeps you plenty of visibility in that guy. This is just another access if you wanted to make this like a linen closet or something. You do have the macerator toilet. It is a porcelain one, and this is our egress door. It's just probably one of the smartest things I've seen in a motorhome, because you don't want to jump out a tall coach like this. You're probably not going to stick the landing. This actually pops off. If you felt like this was going to get in the way, this pops off almost like a cabinet. You can get it out of the way. You pop this little magnet thing off. This little telescoping ladder drops down and you can walk right out of the coach. It's not a one-time fixture either. You can actually use it over and over again. People load their their stuff through this door from time to time. But keep in mind, double lock, and it's only accessible from the inside out. You can't open it from the outside for any reason. Get a shot of the floor here. Good shot of getting the tile. It's a really nice kind of gloss and matte tile. But you also have an engine cover access here. If you ever need to service the top of the motor, they just pop those little plugs out and then down they go. You do have probably one of the nicest showers in the business here. You got nice towel racks on the back of this door. Very smart. Nice teak bench. And it stows out of the way real easy. Very nice if you want to kind of take a shower sitting down. We do have the AquaView miser. This is a nice system so a lot of coaches have, if you're not hooked up to city water and you're working with, this has 105 gallons fresh water. We'll go over some of those stats in a minute. But if you were depending on that 105 gallons and you didn't have this water miser, as the water was getting to temp, it would be burning up that water and filling up your gray tank. This system actually recirculates it till it gets it to temp. The lens pops on, you move this over to go, and you're taking a shower. That Oasis, so if you're hooked up to city water, you can take unlimited showers. It's just like showering at home. You're not, turning the water on and off, and it's just a great shower system with that Oasis. But this is even better because it saves your water and saves your gray tank. I'm 6'1". It's a great big shower. You do have a skylight. I could be a 6'4", 6'5" guy in here and have no problem. You have the waterfall head, and you got a nice little adjustable wand here. So very nice. Cultured marble, one piece throughout. Not tile, but still very classy. So that's kind of the front to back on this 4369. Let me turn some more lights on. Oh, we lost our lights here. There we go. So a couple things about this coach. I'll just go over some stats. It is an SE Freightliner chassis, 400 horse, 1250 foot-pounds of torque. It's an 8.9 Cummins i6. It's got a 6-speed Allison with an overdrive. The length of this coach is 43 foot 10 inches. We've got a width of 8 foot 6 inches. The overall height is 13 foot 1 inch. And the interior height in here is 6 foot 11 inches. Dry weight on this coach is 36,800 pounds. We got a payload of 8,800 pounds, which is just incredible. We got a true towing capacity of 15,000 pounds. And the GVWR on this coach is 45,600 for those that need to know that. You got 100 gallons of fuel, 105 gallons of fresh water, 75 gallons of gray water, and 55 gallons of black. And that's it for this coach today, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe on our videos so we can reach more viewers. And my name is Dean Jones, and you can get me at the number below, or 720-347-7063, or you can email me at dean.jones@transwest.com. Thanks for visiting me and looking at this coach with me today, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.